This is a windy day on April 8th, 2022, and I thought I'd try to fly a kite. My mom got me this kite about 40 years ago, and it hasn't seen much action in the last 25. When my kids were little, we got it out and flew it, but I thought, well, I'll try and see if I can get it to fly. It's a pretty windy day, and I'm letting string out right now, and it's still taking off, so it's working all right. Yeah, it went right up. The string is old. It's probably 40-year-old string. And anyway, the kite works. All you need is a good wind. I was afraid the string would break and the kite would go to the next county, but I thought, well, it's better than just leaving it hang in the closet for years in the dark. I thought I'd get it out in the sunshine today. A flock of birds just went over. It's about to crash to the ground. It's kind of doing its own thing. I'm just holding the string. I can let it out or bring the string in, and when it starts to dive to the ground, you can pull back on the cord and it'll turn it around and give it some height usually. But anyway, I checked the weather before I came out, and it was between 18 and 26 mile-an-hour wind, so this is good. Usually, most days, whoop, went down on the other side of our greenhouse, but came back up. Good thing it caught a draft at the right time. Most days in Arkansas, it is not windy. I mean, this isn't New Mexico or whatever, where there's a lot of wind. If you had a wind generator, you wouldn't make much electricity in Arkansas. Usually June, July, and August, the wind doesn't blow. It's just hot and humid and still. But I thought, well, while we've got a windy day, I would get out here and try this kite. It's kind of fun, just see what the wind does with it. And it really took off. It's getting up there quite a ways. So I just came out in the backyard. We live in, well, near Arkadelphia. It's kind of in the country near Hollywood, Arkansas. We're kind of out here by ourselves. It won't bother the neighbors any if I fly a kite. Hope the sound of the wind isn't too loud on this video. But, it's a beautiful day. A little cool. But we get a little bit of sun every now and then, and that makes it pretty nice. But the clouds are beautiful, and I don't mind the wind. It gives you real variety in the weather. Like I say, pretty soon the weather's just going to be stuck in a rut, hot and humid every day. And it doesn't even cool down too much at night. Wow, this took a dive all of a sudden. I don't know, the wind just kind of died and the kite turned around, but it went back up. Beautiful clouds. We have a lot of birds at our backyard. We put 3 feeders out, and we attract a lot of red cardinals, male and female, and some blue jays from time to time. A couple of, it's called red-bellied woodpecker, but actually they have red heads, but their bellies are not red, but that's their name. And then we have, unfortunately, some brown-headed cowbirds that showed up, and I mean, they're fine if there was just 2 or 3 of them, but they usually travel as a gang of 30, and they descend and just eat everything. And so I'm not as thrilled with the brown-headed cowbirds. We saw 2 mockingbirds in our backyard recently. I'd been hearing them in the neighbors' trees, and I really enjoy hearing the mockingbirds. They just have a real repertoire, a variety of songs they sing, and so I enjoy the mockingbirds in the backyard out my office window. And we just got our first hummingbird scouts of the season. So we put hummingbird feeders out, one in the front yard and one in the back. And we've got hummers at each feeder, so we're enjoying the birds. this, I've got more string. I could let this kite out some more, but I know if I do, I'll just have to reel it back in, but it would probably go up even higher, but I'm enjoying it at this height. I wish my grandkids were here to do this with me today, but they're in Kansas City. If they come, it would probably be this summer, and like I say, in the summer we don't have any wind. Whoa, it came down low to the ground that time, but then recovered. And it's really not anything I'm doing. I'm just holding on to the string, and the wind's just doing it all. But I like the design of this kite. It's all kind of a silky fabric. And my mom bought it when she lived in Oregon, like I say, about 40 years ago, and I haven't had it out of the closet since the kids were little 25 years ago. Now I've got grandkids, and I'd love to have them play with this. My kids, I used to let the kite be real low to the ground. Right now it's very high in the air, look. But I used to let it get low to the ground. They'd run, try to grab the tail, and then it would go back up in the air before they could get it. Usually they would catch it every now and then, but it was fun playing with the kite with the kids when they were smaller. But everybody grows up, except me. I'm still a kid. I can get a kite out and play with it, so it's kind of fun. Just I haven't done it in a long time, and a windy day like this, I thought I ought to take advantage of it. I ought to get the kite out. Just nice to have an excuse to get outside. We work in the yard gardening. We do plant vegetables, and we've got some asparagus planted for the first time ever, and they're up. And we planted garlic for the first time ever, and that's up and doing well. We also have onion, haven't planted any of them for a while. Then we have our old standards of squash, tomatoes, and bell peppers. So we've got some good things growing, and it ought to be a good growing season. We also have blueberries and strawberries, and that's over here. And I built these frames around these raised beds so that we could put netting over it to keep the birds out. Anyway, I guess I'll let you go, but thanks for watching the kite fly for a little while today. It's real peaceful.